It was one of those perfect summer afternoons in Willow Creek, a quiet suburban neighborhood just outside Dallas. The sky was clear, the smell of grilled ribs filled the air, and my family was getting ready for our annual backyard barbecue. Music played softly, my kids were running around laughing, and my wife was setting out drinks on the patio. It was the kind of day that makes you forget about work, bills, and everything else. For a few hours, it felt like life was good. But that peace didn't last long. From across the fence came the familiar sound of someone clearing their throat. "Excuse me." I turned around, and there she was, Karen, our next-door neighbor. She stood there with her arms crossed, wearing oversized sunglasses and holding her phone like she was ready to call 911. "Can you turn that noise down? Some of us actually enjoy peace and quiet." I smiled politely. "Hey Karen, it's just a family barbecue, we're not being that loud." "Oh please," she snapped. "My cat is terrified and your smoke is blowing right into my yard. Do you even know what that's doing to my allergies?" I held back a laugh. "We'll keep it down a little," I said, trying to stay calm. She wasn't done. "You people are always making noise. First the lawnmower, now this. I swear this neighborhood is going downhill." I turned back to the grill and muttered, "It's Saturday, Karen. People are allowed to live." A few minutes later, my cousin walked over, shaking his head. "Man, that woman never stops complaining, does she?" I laughed. "Nope, but if she thinks a barbecue is loud, she's in for a surprise when the kids start with the fireworks next month." We thought it was over, but 30 minutes later, a white SUV pulled up in front of the house. Out stepped a man with a clipboard, an HOA officer. Karen stood by her fence, smiling smugly like she'd just won a battle. The officer said, "Sir, we got a complaint about excessive noise." I nodded. "Yeah, I figured, but we're under the limit, just a small family gathering." He looked around, saw the kids playing, the grill smoking, and said, "You're fine, enjoy your barbecue." Then he turned around and left. Karen's face turned red. She crossed her arms tighter and stomped back into her house, slamming the door so hard her wind chime fell. Everyone burst out laughing. We enjoyed the rest of the evening, thinking that was the end of it, but the next morning proved otherwise. I stepped outside to grab the newspaper and my jaw dropped. Trash was scattered all over our front yard. Our recycling bin was flipped over and someone had written "noisy people" across our driveway in big chalk letters. My wife walked out behind me and gasped, "Who would do this?" Before I could answer, Karen came out sipping her iced coffee, pretending to be shocked. "Oh my goodness," she said, shaking her head. "What kind of person does that? This neighborhood has gone crazy." I looked right at her. "Yeah," I said slowly, "crazy." But inside, I was already smiling because I knew we had security cameras. I checked the footage and there she was, plain as day, Karen, sneaking out at 2 in the morning with a flashlight, dragging our trash can and writing on our driveway. She even stopped to take a picture like she was proud of it. I didn't confront her. Instead, I sent the video to our neighborhood HOA group chat, the same one she always used to complain about everyone else. Within minutes, the video exploded. Turns out, almost everyone had a Karen story. She yelled at one neighbor's kids for playing basketball, accused another family of ruining property value because of Christmas lights, and even called animal control on someone's golden retriever for barking too cheerfully. By noon, the HOA issued her a fine for property damage and harassment. She tried to defend herself, saying she was just protecting the neighborhood, but no one bought it. That afternoon, she stormed over to my yard, waving the letter. "Do you have any idea what you've done? I was trying to keep this neighborhood respectable." I looked her straight in the eye. "Karen, maybe try respecting people before you start protecting them." She glared at me for a moment, then turned and stomped off, muttering under her breath. That weekend, we decided to host another barbecue, a big one this time. Almost the entire neighborhood showed up. People brought side dishes, desserts, drinks, even a DJ speaker. Everyone was laughing, eating, and finally enjoying themselves. For the first time in months, it actually felt like a community again. Karen stayed inside, but I could see her peeking through her blinds. Every once in a while, she'd lift the corner just enough to watch. My wife noticed and whispered, "You think she's jealous?" I grinned. "Nah, she's just realizing that nobody wants to live in her version of peace and quiet." As the sun set and the sky turned orange, the kids ran around with sparklers and the sound of country music filled the air. People were smiling, sharing stories, and for once, everyone was on the same page. Karen's reign of terror was officially over. Later that night, as I was cleaning up the grill, I looked toward her dark house. All the lights were off, blinds still shut. I almost felt bad for her almost. Because the truth is, people like Karen can't stand to see others happy. They feed off control and attention. But when the community stands together, even the loudest complainer loses her voice. I smiled, grabbed the last of the dishes, and said to my wife, "You know what's funny? We didn't need to fight back. Karma handled everything." She nodded, "Yeah, served hot off the grill." We laughed, turned off the lights, and went inside. And from that night on, our block was quieter, not because of Karen, but because everyone finally learned how to laugh at her instead of fear her. Some people never change, but sometimes the best revenge isn't shouting louder, it's living better, smiling wider, and letting karma do the talking.